My folks were born in Brooklyn and in the 30s, and Brooklyn didn't seem so cool in the early 60s, you know. So for them, the dream was going out to Long Island. So that's where I was raised, and I got into college, went up to southern tier of New York, beautiful valley in Binghamton's, SUNY Binghamton, and never went back to Long Island. It's not as fun as upstate. Upstate is much better than Long Island.
What's the best part of? Well, better question. Comparing Long Island versus upstate.
Yeah.
Why is it better?
Why is upstate better? Well, upstate still has, like Rochester still has parts of it that have not, like you have the Strip in Henrietta and in Greece, right? And so it's corporate chain Miracle Mile. Long Island is, you know, it's just house, corporate chain Miracle Mile, house. And there's no, you know, there's no locally anything, you know, there's no farms. Yeah, so
I'm just wondering.
Scenes are not, I don't remember there being like local scenes, and I could be wrong, and this could all be mythology that's just, you know, in my head. It's someone from Long Island is going, what are you, crazy? There's all this cool stuff going on down there, but that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
I'm just wondering, when did you start to notice that was Long Island that way your entire life? Was there a moment of change or a moment of realization where you realized that Long Island was that way?
Well, you know, I didn't have a car when I was a kid. When I was a teenager, some of my friends did, so I didn't really have a broad overview of the area, and I just lived in that, you know, one little suburban town in Nassau County. I had lived out in Suffolk, but while I was growing up in the 60s and 70s, Long Island went from a place where there were plenty of potato farms and other farms to a place where pretty much it's all been turned into housing development as far as, you know, I understand right now. It was a shock to come to Rochester. Binghamton is a little more like downstate than Rochester is. Rochester, and I had been in Albany for a while, and people still have New York accents in Albany. You know, people order coffee in Albany. It's still there, and there's a bustle there, but when I came to Rochester, it took me a while to figure out that, like, you know, you don't always have to say everything that comes to your mind. In Rochester, people have a filter and they're polite, and in Brooklyn, Long Island people just come, you know, you got a booger on your nose, you know, it's everything, just there's no filter. One thing I do miss about Long Island is there's no bad pizza, and like the New York pizza line is Syracuse as far as I can tell, or maybe Utica. I think people would put the pizza line in different places. I'm going to say between Utica and Syracuse is where you go, where pizza turns from downstate, you know, thin crust pizza into, people are confused and they think pizza is Chicago pizza, right? As it gets a thicker crust, so like Salvatore's is Rochester pizza. But, you know, those of us who have figured it out now go to Pizza Stop on State Street.
That's a great place, Pizza Stop.
Oh, my God. Yeah. It's from Massapequa.
Is
from
he?
Long Island, yeah.
I had no idea.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Jerry Seinfeld's town.